Hey guys, welcome to my first more relaxed video. It's gonna be a session that I call Random Rant. And for me, that's gonna be more focused on a specific topic. I know Random Rant, but it's gonna be kind of focused on a topic per video. So each segment is gonna be a different whole thing. Anyways, it might be a dumb name. We'll change that later, but right now, it's gonna have a lot of less b-roll, less editing, and a very basic script. I just kind of want to do something a little quicker so I can get some content onto you guys, especially if I'm usually on a busier time schedule. So for now, let's get into it. So this video, I will actually be talking about what I think would be a best first balisong at specific price points. And these will really only include ones that I've flipped. And I know it's kind of like best beginner balisong, but a lot of times that usually only entails balisongs at the budget price point from what I usually see. But you know, some people have a little bit more spending money and they want to get a little bit more out of that money, and that's completely okay. And I do want to offer that as, you know, as information out there. You know, for these recommendations, these are again what I flipped. And if anyone watches this video and they have recommendations themselves that they want to give out, just please put into the comments for other people to read and look at for themselves. I think it's personally really good if we have a lot of people sharing and supporting information for one another. And if anyone watching this video, of course, has any questions about any other balisongs out there, I will do my best to answer it. I can't guarantee that I've tried everything, but I will do my best for you. And if not me, hopefully someone else in the comments can help answer those same questions. I'm going to try to limit it so I'm not going to make the video too long. Maybe I can make a balisong recommendation list in general, but who knows? Because I know Ethan from Blade Bias has a really comprehensive one, and that's honestly what I usually look to and recommend other people. But if you would like me to make my own for my own preferences, I'd be down to do that. But anyways, let's get into it with our first category, and that is going to be $50 and under. So with $50, it can't really get you a lot. But I think because the hobby itself is advancing at a really good rate, and you know, with creators out there, not just in the US but also in China, it gives a really good opportunity for them to make really affordable balisongs at a good price, or make really affordable balisongs with a lot of features and with really good flipping performance. The first one that I do want to talk about is going to be the Nabalis Impulse. This is a really new balisong, and I know a lot of people are talking about it. I got a chance to flip it for a bit at Blade Show, and for a bit I mean like a couple hours. I kind of went on and off with it and with some other balisongs. For me, it felt a little handle biased, but it can do pretty much all tricks that I know pretty well. I don't have one. I don't have the time to buy it. Oh, not that I don't have the time. I don't have the need to buy one. However, for beginners, it's going to be an amazing option. For one, it is a very light balisong. It's at, I think, around 3.4 ounces, which is significantly lighter than most metal balisongs out there. Like even the Nautilus here is roughly around 3.6 ounces. And for me already, this is incredibly light. So even 0.2 ounces past that is going to be even lighter. I have flipped the Canyon and the original extrusion by Nabalis at Blade Show also, and I can easily say that the impulse the extrusion number 2 is going to be a significantly better option for people. And the biggest reason for me is because it flips the most like a standard balisong, where you won't really experience a squiddy syndrome as Will and other creators call it, as you get with maybe the Canyon or the Squiddy, or even the extrusion or the Squiddy Owl as a beginner. Because when you're a beginner, it's going to be harder for you to transition from a Squiddy syndrome balisong to something else that is more standard in terms of flipping, because at that point you're still getting used to your own balisong before you move to something else. For advanced flippers, I don't really think it's going to be an issue, but this is not who it's going to be for. For the Impulse, you will get extra hardware. I do know the ballast includes a lot of it with each balisong. They have hardware. They have a pivot Torx bit, something very similar to this. This is actually from Thomas Balisong, but essentially the same thing. It's actually amazing. I use it all the time when I take apart my balisongs to clean. And they also include lube and Loctite. Again, first balisong, you get all the extra amenities with it. It's going to be fantastic. And one last thing I do want to mention about Nabalis is that they are absolutely amazing when it comes to shipping. They are a company that can ship worldwide. So not only, people in the US everyone in the States can get a chance to buy a balisong at a really good price, but so can almost everyone else in the world. And it's really interesting seeing a lot of Instagram or Reddit posts of people from a lot of the countries, especially in like Asia or Europe, buying stuff from Nabalis. And I've actually bought a Nabalis balisong for someone in the UK as a gift, and it shipped to them real quick. They got it and it was zero issues. It was honestly amazing. So you can really honestly never go wrong with Nabalis. So Impulse for $36, fantastic price. Next for me, I would recommend is the LDY Frank P. So it's gonna be this little guy here. I think it's my favorite plastic balisong at the moment. From how this thing flips, it's a little handle bias. It's kind of hard to flip. Embarrassing. It's a little hard to flip with a microphone in hand and a cord, but I love this thing, and it flips better than other plastic balisongs that I tried. I'm gonna try to remember Squiddy B, Zippy Cycloid LC. Yeah, the Zippy Cycloid LC and the Rhinox V1.5 trainer, which I actually have right here. This is actually a really, really fun balisong. It's a resin balisong, and I do like it a lot. It actually flips really well. It's a little bit blade bias, but anyways, I like the Frank LP a little bit better. And I actually did a really fun belly dare with this one. Granted, I'm still newbie when it comes to balisong flipping, that trying to do a trick with this, even though it's not my best performing balisong, this still, regardless, I was able to do the belly dare with. I'm trying to find a clip and put it up, but I love this thing. Notable things with it though, it doesn't have any jipping. It is very slippery. This thing will fly out of your hand if you have dry hands. If you don't moisturize up, this motherfucker gonna fly. Oh, one more thing. The scales, you see the scales here? These things actually can pop out if you drop it hard enough. And that's an issue that I've seen multiple people deal with. I personally just super glue them in, so it's not much of an issue anymore, but that's okay. At the end of the day, this balisong is around $33, which insane. And as Ethan and Brandon will say, Chinese balisongs like Nabalis and LDY, their pricing is the exception, not the rule. So it's absolutely unrealistic to expect American makers to have this sort of pricing with it. So, but and then at the end of the day, these are original makers, and we are supporting good original makers out there and they're going to give us good products such as this. I absolutely love it. And Zippy Balisong actually has a collab with LDY for the Frank P, and Zippy of course calls it the Frank C. I love it. It has jimping, and it has some more customization. I think it has a little eye bit with it, and the silencers, which I think are kind of a must if you want to flip this for long periods, because I'm not gonna lie, this dude loud. But this thing to me hurts my ears if I like flip it really hard. So I'm gonna try, so usually when I flip it, I try to keep it flowing, so I don't have to really listen to the clack 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 on it. Anyways, we're not gonna pick that up. The Frank Z version is about $10 more. I think it's worth it for the $10 more. You know, I probably should have got it, but you know, at Blade Show I was like, I already spent a lot of money, might as well cheap out. I regret that, but Frank P, fantastic choice. All right, next up we're going to talk about the $100 and under category, and that's going to be the Orion V1.5. Also, by the way, I dulled the fuck out of this thing because I cut myself way too much when I first got this. When it comes to flipping, this thing's slightly handle-biased, but for all the tricks that I know, it performs them incredibly well. And for a price of $75 to $80 between the trainer and the live blade here, this is of course going to cost a little bit more, it's a great deal. It's probably one of the best deals. In notes, the Orion S did come out, but it's a little bit more expensive. I think a little bit over 100, and I get, you know, that makes sense because they kind of moved away from the sandwich construction, as you can see here, and changed it to chainwich. I personally don't like that because I had another Orion, and I actually switched out the what's it called, the spacer here with the zippy spacers, and those things are fucking fantastic. This is actually my original one. The whole story is I had an original one. I gave this to a friend so he could flip, and then I bought another LDY Orion, got spacers for that, flipped it for a while, and I traded back because this is my first live blade, and I'm like, I can't really, you know, give this away. I gotta get it back. And he was cool with it. He didn't really mind. He was like, well, that's fine. Yeah, why not? Technically, he got a nice deal out of it since he got the spacers, but you know, it's okay. I do kind of wish I bought the Orion S. Maybe I could have talked about it in a different price point for this video. It also does have the comb blade, which I really, really want, and I do want to try traveling with, but that's a little risky, so I might not. Regarding the V1.5, this is actually my favorite budget balisong. Absolutely, hands down. The only one that can contest this balisong is the cheese. I actually do not have the cheese. I thought about buying it, but I can't justify having another balisong. I flipped the cheese at Blade Show with a mask flipper. Shout out to them. They're wonderful, really funny, really cool. Anyways, between the live and the trainer Orion, they actually flip close enough, but the live has more tip weight, so the fans will perform differently. I think it fans better, and I don't think the more blade weight affects the chaplains or the fanning or the rollover experience. I feel like it's just as good, honestly. Granted, you know, if you're buying your first balisong, you're really not going to notice. I kind of noticed because I had enough time between the two. But either way, if you live somewhere you can't have a live blade, just get the trainer. It's fantastic. And you know, even I'm like 7 months into my balisong journey. I've spent a good amount of money on balisongs. There's a reason why I still have this, not only for sentimental reasons, but it also just flips incredibly well. If I had $100, I would absolutely begin my flipping journey with the Orion. It also comes with extra bushings, pivots, stainless steel washers, which of course is nice. I'm not going to complain about having extra stuff, especially for beginners who don't have that. So, you know, it gives them a chance to tune, try something new with it too. And I will say the tune with the LDY Orion, or just LDY products in general, they're actually crazy. I know I can't go too close because I have manual focus on, but look at this guy. Wow. Literally, like, barely any wiggle. See, I would have cut myself right. I can't focus. I can't talk and flip at the same time. Anyways, I still flip it to this day. Zippy spacers are worth it. So if you do get the Orion and you want to get the Zippy spacers, go get them. They're worth it. Support Zippy. He's fantastic. I love him. Another, I guess, budget balisong relatively similar or in price is going to be the Refault. I had the Refault. I sold the Refault because between the two, I actually like the feel of the Orion better. It feels a little bit more substantial. I will say the Refault sounds really, really nice. It's glassy. It also feels nice because of the G10. And the weight adjustability actually does something for it. It's actually really cool how much the weight adjustability can change. But I'm not going to lie, I just kind of did not like how it flipped. It felt a little sluggish for me. And this one, I just feel it's got a little bit more to it that I enjoy. And of course, at the end of the day, all of these choices that I make, they're subjective. There's stuff that I personally like, so take it with a grain of salt. Next is going to be under $150. So at this point, you're going to be spending more money for a product, but I think you're going to get a lot more out of it in terms of flipping performance and sometimes the straight value. So I'm going to talk first about the Squid Trainer. And I know this is not under $150, but I'm going to include blemished prices because that's how I was able to get a lot of my favorite balisongs, like the Kraken Trainer. So this one I got blemished at Blade Show from their bargain bin thing. I love it. Also, just look how cool this is. Oh yeah, it's got the sauce. Ooh. And look at how cool it is with the zippy inserts, the translucent orange. It's stunning. Anyways, I got this for around $130, and for most of the pricing that you see on Squid's website, their blemished Squid trainers are going to range from $145 to $170 for like the ink models, but you don't need inked. I'll just be honest, it just looks cool. But I also like the colorway with the light blades too. And out of the Squid Industry trainers, this is actually going to be the most neutral that I've used, and I flipped the Nautilus, the Kraken trainers too, the Mako, the Al, all of them. This one is fantastic, and again, with blemish, you get something good at a really, really good price. This one has pine and bat bushings, but I can't really complain at the price I got. And honestly, I wore down the bushings a little bit, enough to the point where it can still swing freely enough. These things are incredibly durable. You see people beating the shit out of these all the time. I'm not gonna do this because this is my Blade Show blade. It can do tricks, almost all tricks that I know well. It's heavy. That's the one thing I will say about it, is that it is heavy. But on the bright side, like going to the gym, training with heavy weights, every other balisong is gonna feel light, and you're gonna get hella strong fingers out of it. Next up, I already mentioned the price for Squid Trainer, so I'm gonna skip that, or I'm not gonna re-mention that. Next up is gonna be the Barracuda V2 by BB Barfly. I made a review on this, and this is actually my first balisong video for a reason. And from $200 and under, this is my absolute favorite trainer. Maybe even balisong. I can't believe how amazing this thing is. And like I said again, this was the subject of my first ever review video because of how much I loved it and how much I wanted the world and people in the balisong hobby to know how good this thing is. And like I said, $200 and under, out of every balisong I've tried, this is my number one balisong, $200 and under. Once you go higher prices, there is going to be something else or multiple things that I do like above this for multiple reasons. But you know, for a beginner or new flipper, for first time balisong, this thing is going to be good for one reason. It has extra hardware. Reason two, or another reason, is that you can adjust the weight balance in this thing from essentially dead neutral and handle bias with these little pivots. I have them in because I actually like a little bit of handle bias. And of course, last but not least, this thing is so well designed because a lot of the cutouts in the CNC millings on this thing serve a purpose. So learning tricks such as ladders, I'm not gonna do a ladder because I don't want to yeet this thing right at my camera. Oh, gotcha. Anyways, but also has grip along the sides here and full speed channels, which again, beautiful. This thing is really well thought out, and you know, again with BB Barfly, if you haven't watched the video or if you don't know much about them, they make every balisong to order. And for me, this took maybe about 2-ish weeks for it to, from the ordering to the making, shipping, and then reaching me in the US, because they make these in Canada, so I had to go through border control. But at $150, if you can only buy one balisong, get this one. It's just so good. And again, if it performs well flipping, I can do almost every trick that I know on this. It's just, I can't recommend this enough. So next we're actually going to skip $200 and go to $250. And I have two on this one. Again, I'm just trying to keep the video from being too long. It's probably really long. I'm sorry, guys. So I actually do not have this balisong with me at the moment, but it's going to be the Kraken V3 Trainer. And God, I'm just going to say right off the bat, I do kind of regret selling it. You know, especially with some of the balisongs I have now, I might, you know, trade it or just buy a new one down the road. But Kraken trainers are going to be at around $220, so it's going to be well within the price range. And of course, if you do get blemished, which I highly encourage, it's going to drop the price down significantly, maybe about another $20 to $40. And at this price point, there's not really a lot that could compete with it other than squid themselves, such as the let me see, the Nautilus V2 again, which I do have. I prefer the Kraken more than the Nautilus. I would choose the Kraken every day out of the week over this thing. And no offense to the Nautilus, it's a good flipper, but I kind of prefer the Kraken over it. And again, I regret selling it. I'll buy one another day. And the reason why is because the Kraken V3 Trainer itself is such a good flipper. And it's definitely a handle bias. It's not anywhere near neutral, so it suffers a little bit at fans. At least it does for me, but that's honestly more of a skill issue. You could get the zippy inserts and really change that. I will definitely get more zippy inserts if I buy another Kraken. But you know, for everything else like aerials, rollovers, chaplains, this bad boy will perform or outperform almost every other balisong that I have on this list. And a lot of that again has to do with the weight distribution on this beautiful, God I miss this balisong. It is gonna be a very different flipping experience than with a live blade, of course, like the OG Kraken. But it's such a well-designed balisong. It feels not only so good in the hands, it's actually it's at like the medium weight. I think around 4.2 ounces. I felt like with that one I can almost do every trick that I wanted. My original one was a full DLC dual toned, and I'm not gonna lie, after getting my Tonto Kraken, my speed channel Tonto Kraken, I actually love how the silver handles look. So if I do, or not if, but when I do get another Kraken, either through trading or just buying, it's gonna be silver. So I will say, like, with the Kraken, it was my first like expensive balisong past like $150. Again, I got it I get mine blemished, but I enjoyed that thing so much. I just don't know what happened. Maybe my preferences changed a little bit, but even then I still think about that thing. But you know, that's okay. So again, highly recommend the Kraken V3 trainer. Next, it's last but not least. In fact, it's probably the most. The BB Superfly Super CUDA. This thing. Oh my god. The performance on this thing or the weight balance, it's going to be neutral-ish with a slight handle bias, to handle bias, to heavy handle bias. And let me get into that in a second. This is my top 3 of all balisongs I've ever flipped. It's gonna be this bad boy, along with my Speed Channel Tonto Kraken and my Seraph V1. There's a reason why this is not in the video. This was a very expensive balisong that I traded for. Speaking of expensive balisongs, the Superfly here is a titanium sandwich balisong, and this comes in at such a good price in comparison to a lot of competitors, because this rocks at $235, which, sorry sweetie if you're hearing this, yeah, it's expensive, I know. It's expensive, but it comes in hundreds of dollars less than most other competitors, except maybe besides the LDY Kite, which came out recently. But before that, this was, I think, the most affordable titanium like balisong you can get. Also, aside from clones, but we're not going to talk about clones in this video. The value you get from this thing is also incredibly insane. It's, oh my god, it's just so beautiful. It flips so well, and it also comes with crazy amount of hardware. Hold on, let me look at my hardware box real quick. All right, cool. So I'll pick that up later. Here's my hardware box. So it comes with a Torx bit, comes with extra sets of bushings, extra sets of pivot screws, and the handle weights. It's absolutely crazy. And you know, in terms of like flipping, like this flips on par with my Speed Channel Tonto Kraken as my like best flipper for my preferences. And it can do, of course, almost every trick well. And if you really want to mess with like the balance with it, with the handle weights, it can definitely make it more handle bias, or you can change just the distribution, because it actually has slots for weights at the end of the handle right here, and a little bit higher towards the third of the handle. I can't even describe how much I love this balisong. I like safe queens are kind of whatever, because I shoot guns a lot and I can't really keep those things from getting dirty or banged up, but this thing I could. I really don't want to drop it on concrete, but out of almost every balisong out there that I would buy 2 of, this is going to be one of them. I am willing to have 2 of these so I can have one beater and have one that I just look at, no matter how impractical that is, because it's going to be very impractical. And I like live blades, Tonto's Speed Channel Kraken, but this is way above budget and should not be a first balisong for anyone. This is essentially the perfect balisong. And if they had a live blade, like I said, Tonto blade on it, God, it would be perfect. I would be so happy, and probably would not buy very many other balisongs other than that. Man. Anyways, well, that's the end of my list. Sorry if I rambled too much. And I might not upload for a little while after this, maybe another 2-3-ish weeks, as I'm going to be busy. I'm actually going to go on vacation with my girlfriend and my girlfriend's family. We're going to be in a different state. I'm going to try to maybe do some more random rant videos or chiller videos that don't require as much editing and time. It's mostly just so I can also provide something entertaining for you guys, along with some insight for a little bit less time. Who knows, I also might make some gaming videos for my girlfriend too, because she actually loves watching gaming playthroughs, and she says she likes hearing my voice, so I'm gonna oblige her and make some videos for her. And if you guys happen to enjoy that, sick. That'll be really cool if you guys watch those videos too. I promise to be not too cringe. If you guys have anything you want me to talk about, like any future topics, I will definitely take them into consideration. You have any questions too, feel free to ask them in the comments. I will do my best to answer them to my knowledge, especially if it's something I have flipped or do know or can understand. If not, I will do my best to let other people refer to those or maybe something else, but I'm going to be honest if I can't answer questions. If you made it this far, of course, thank you so much for watching.